As the media rightly skewers Donald Trump, Carrie Lake, and other Republicans desperately trying to distance themselves from strict and unpopular abortion bans, such as the one in Arizona, Arizona Republicans just pulled a stunt that's so disgusting it may doom their entire party nationally in the upcoming election. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bell before you go. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, friends, we have several clips to look at in this video, and there's a lot to talk about. As a reminder, the predicate situation is that a conservative Arizona Supreme Court recently upheld a Civil War-era draconian abortion ban, which basically offers no exceptions. It's so bad, folks, that the likes of Donald Trump, Carrie Lake, and other Republicans, not just in Arizona but elsewhere, are scrambling to distance themselves from it. And also figures in right-wing media like Sean Hannity, who, says he's pro-life, pro-forced birth, and proponent of states' rights, some states' rights. He's been sounding the alarm on this. And I'm going to play some clips just to remind you of the stakes. And then we're going to get into exactly what Arizona Republicans did, because it's super gross and just may doom the Republicans in November.
And the people on the left are so desperate, attacking Trump now for an Arizona Supreme Court ruling that upholds what is a Civil War-era law banning abortion. This will be fixed in the next week or two. Let not your heart be troubled. I can pretty much assure that will happen.
So that was Sean Hannity a week or two ago, assuring us that this draconian ban would be dealt with in a week or two. He promised. Here's another clip from Hannity again, just to set the stage.
Trump opposes the law and this ruling, or you can believe Joe's make pretend Donald Trump that doesn't exist. And you know what? Arizona's governor is a Democrat. The state's attorney general is a Democrat. The state legislature is almost evenly divided. If Democrats, you want to get rid of the law, well, you have a chance right now to get rid of it. And I would advise you, get rid of it.
You're advising them to do that because you're worried it would hurt Republicans in an election year, right? So just as a reminder, he says it's not Donald Trump's fault, even though it is. The federal protections afforded by Roe v. Wade superseded this Civil War-era law. That's why it wasn't in effect. When Trump stacked the Supreme Court of the United States with 3 conservative appointees, he set the stage for Roe v. Wade to be overturned, which it was in the Dobbs decision in 2022, allowing these strict abortion bans to proliferate. Then Hannity says, no, listen. Now it's up to Democrats to clean up the Republicans' mess. Katie Hobbs is a Democrat. The legislature is almost evenly divided. They can get this done. Well, they tried the very same day that Hannity made those clips, and Republicans blocked them. Well, today, Republicans did it again. We're going to play 2 clips, but folks, the way they go about it, not only the second attempt, but the jubilation and the way they conduct themselves in this clip as they thwart even an attempt to debate the repeal of the Civil War-era draconian law. I think it may doom the GOP this year. But so that's Arizona Republicans, as both the Biden-Harris campaign and the DNC War Room are pointing out. Arizona Republicans block even debating a repeal of the state's 1864 near-total abortion ban with no exceptions for health, rape, or incest. The Biden campaign pointed out just last week, Trump called this Arizona abortion ban from 1864, quote, an incredible thing that's working brilliantly. And they're expressing glee and jubilation at not even allowing the chance to debate the repeal. This is Republicans doing this. Here's another clip from that same situation, which is a bit more intimate. And check out if you see the winks and the little waves and everything. Just again, the sheer childlike glee that these Arizona Republicans have over the notion of forcing women to gestate fetuses against their will and potentially against their health.
Just quote tweets a bunch of stuff and just goes immigrants, Iran.
Another one, the representative running for re-election in my district, another one, and yet he ran 5 bills last session.
Winks, delight, glee, jubilation. Arizona Senate Democrats said extreme anti-abortion Republicans cheer, clap, and wink at the gallery after blocking another Democratic attempt to repeal the 1864 total abortion ban. Folks, this is a potential electoral anchor or noose, depending on what the metaphor is, around the neck or ankles of the Republican Party. And its effects wouldn't just be confined to Arizona. It's so bad, folks. Donald Trump is trying to distance himself from it while also having it both ways. Carrie Lake, one of MAGA's most extremely cultish members who gleefully supported this bill, we're going to play a clip to remind you of that, is also now trying to rewrite history and distance herself from this outcome because even she, in all her delusion, recognizes that this could be electorally fatal. So I want to play you a clip of what Carrie Lake used to say about this thing, even just a few months ago, compared to what she's saying about it now. And then we'll get to the response of her Democratic challenger, Ruben Goya.
I don't believe in abortion. I think the older law is going to go into effect. That's what I believe will happen. I don't think abortion pills should be legal. We have a great law on the books right now. If that happens, we will be a state where we will not be taking the lives of our unborn anymore. I'm incredibly thrilled that we are going to have a great law that's already on the books. So it will prohibit abortion in Arizona, and I think we're going to be paving the way and setting course for other states to follow. This total ban on abortion that the Arizona Supreme Court just ruled on is out of line with where the people of this state are. The issue is less about banning abortion and more about saving babies. I agree with President Trump. This is such a personal and private issue. I chose life, but I'm not every woman. I want to make sure that every woman who finds herself pregnant has more choices so that she can.
That's being pro-choice, lady. You absolute moron. You don't think that we noticed that? The complete contradiction. There's no way for Carrie Lake to reconcile these mutually exclusive propositions. And she knows it. She's just banking on the short-term memory of her voters. And so Ruben Goya, her Democratic challenger, put together this ad. It's about 30 seconds long. We're going to play it, and then we're going to play a clip of an interview that he had from MSNBC.
Here is that Arizona must adhere to an abortion ban.
I don't believe in abortion. Abortion is the ultimate sin. Obviously, I think Roe v. Wade should be overturned. And again, we have a great law on the books right now. I believe it's ARS 133603. So it will prohibit abortion in Arizona. And it's going to be very difficult for abortion clinics to survive and be open if abortion is illegal in Arizona.
Yeah.
Carrie Lake, wrong on abortion, wrong for the Senate, wrong for Arizona. Folks, it's just not good for them whatsoever, them being the Republicans. So this is Ruben Gallego, the Democratic challenger. This is what he has to say about Carrie Lake's flip-flop and attempt to rewrite history.
Look, Arizonans aren't going to be fooled. They know who Carrie Lake. They know who Carrie Lake is. She is someone who will lie, has lied about almost everything regarding her positions on abortion. She'll do anything to gain power. We're going to use her own words multiple times so people will see that. And look, we're going to do this also face-to-face. We are traveling the state right now. We're going to the most Republican areas of the state. We're going to some of the farthest areas of the state that haven't been reached, some of our tribal nations. And we're talking about Carrie Lake's record of the fact that she will take away your abortion rights. She will tell you that you should drive, 3 hours somewhere, which, by the way, in Arizona, it's a big state that doesn't really get you very far sometimes to get very, life-saving medical, medical options. And so we're going to do this in a face-to-face, person-to-person, and she's going to have to defend herself. She's surrounding herself with kind of MAGA extremists. She's not really talking to normal Republicans every day. And when she gets out of her little bubble, little safe bubble, she's going to realize that her abortion positions, number one, are not trusted. People believe that she's going to actually go for an abortion ban, and that Arizonans are going to push back on that.
As well they should. And again, the Democrats need every sort of political advantage we can possibly get. Arizona's a purple state. It's held by a Democratic-aligned incumbent, Kyrsten Sinema, but she's hated by probably more by Democrats than even Republicans because she's been such a high-profile thorn in President Biden's side. But Democrats have a really good chance of taking this seat from Kyrsten Sinema as she leaves office and denying Carrie Lake. Ruben Gallego has been leading in the polls. We'll talk about recent fundraising advantage that he has maximized over her. But this is an ad. I think it's from the Lincoln Project. Yes. They put together a really good ad highlighting, again, Trump's and Carrie Lake's desperate attempts to rewrite history and distance themselves from what's going on in Arizona.
Carrie Lake and Donald Trump. At first, they admitted they wanted a national abortion ban.
I don't think abortion pills should be legal.
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman.
Yeah, there has to be some form.
Now, they're pretending they won't back the ban if they're elected. They're lying.
This total ban on abortion is out of line with where the people of this state are.
Did Arizona go too far? Yeah, they did, and that'll be straightened out.
I agree with President Trump. This is such a personal and private issue.
Two frauds desperately running from the truth and from their real position. She backed the ban, and he's still bragging about ending Roe.
That I was able to terminate Roe v. Wade, and I'm proud to have done it. I was so honored to have done it.
They'll ban all abortion, even to save a mother's life. They'll end IVF, and they'll ban birth control. Donald Trump and Carrie Lake, they're the same. They're dishonest, deceptive, and dangerous for every woman.
A very compelling ad which uses their own words against them. There's a complete contradiction here, folks. There's no way to square not only their history, but even just their specific history with respect to abortion. They want to have their cake and eat it too because they know this is a potentially lethal electoral challenge for them. And we do not have an obligation. I would argue we have an obligation to do the opposite, which is to not take Republicans, to not take Carrie Lake, to not take Donald Trump at their word on this. We have no reason to give them the benefit of the doubt and every reason to withhold it. So when you combine all of that with what Arizona Republicans just did today, block a second attempt by Democrats to address the situation, and that attempt is simply to debate repealing the law. Not only did they block it for a second time, and this time even a mere debate, they openly celebrated doing it. They celebrated doing it. The footage of Arizona Republicans clapping, cheering, winking, waving, just again expressing utter delight at the notion of forcing women to gestate fetuses against their will and potentially against their health. That should be in every Democratic advertisement. We can potentially cram it in, and I think it may very well doom them in 2024. Let me know what you think in the comments.